Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Grimes, are you ready for murder?
I am ready for an accident to happen, as one should always be in this chaotic world in which we live.
You know, shit happens all the time.
Am I
Sometimes
centered
it's
in?
messy.
Am I centered in frame? Like if
No,
I?
you're way off to the left.
Yeah, as always. But I figured I could readjust to my new seat a little better, I guess. So we are picking up, I think, the next day, right? And Grimes is, I guess, climbing ahead, probably up this main route of pilgrimage.
Yes.
Is there some logo on that goblet you were showing off?
Oh, yeah, it doesn't. It's a Game of Thrones goblet. Yeah, whatever.
Wow, you're so cool.
We got them at a brewery when we were living in San Francisco, and they had like Game of Thrones nights where they would broadcast it, and they were serving all their drinks in Game of Thrones glasses. And so my wife and one of her friends went up to the bartender afterwards and was like, "Can we get some of those glasses?" And the bartender was like, "Sure, here you guys go." And now we have a bunch of Game of Thrones mugs. Because my wife knows how to do it. Anyway, where are we? We're climbing a mountain.
Indeed. Walking up a mountain.
Today, maybe it's because of the elevation. Maybe it's just that the heat wave has broken. But today is a bit of a cooler day, and the winds are picking up. But again, you know, you're climbing, so maybe it's just all the elevation that you're gaining here. But it's getting cooler, and the winds are beginning to whip around a little bit. That same party that you kind of followed yesterday isn't going up today. The parents and the kids, they're nowhere to be found. But Janet is in full hiking gear today and is getting ready to lead a separate group up the mountain. These look like a mishmash of people, and you can overhear their chatter. They're definitely foreigners speaking in... I don't know. Give me an intelligence check to see if you can recognize the language.
All right. That is 10 intelligence.
Show the rolls.
For a pass.
They're speaking in Mystrian common.
Mystery.
Yeah, we've never really.
That's like some draconic shit, right?
I mean, it's a different country,
like,
so
they're like hissing and spitting.
No, it's just you know, it's like they're speaking in German or whatever. It's another human language.
9.
We have a rarely talked about languages in this context. The like common language would be Eridonian. Drekian would be its own sort of language. Mystrian would be its own language. Matavan would be its own language. But
I think I'm right with the. At least I'm gonna stand. Oh,
yeah.
Did I just crash everything by zooming in my Roll20 map? Come on,
just,
computer, you can do it. Okay, all right,
good,
we're back.
good.
We're back. I'm gonna stand by my. I don't know, prejudice or whatever. In that Mystrian's the kingdom with the dragon overlord, right? Yeah, totally draconic bullshit. And I'm going to stick to my I don't know if it's racist
absolutely
assertion of the hissing and spitting being
stick by it. But for the audience, the dragon overlord is not by choice. They hate it. They don't like it. And they have their own regular common language. But like I'm sure people from Drekis think that they're just a bunch of like evil dragon worshippers up in Mystria. That's definitely probably the impression you're getting.
Creepy lizard people.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on with them? Anyway, are you going up before Janet takes her group?
I don't think I could blend in with them, right? Like I wouldn't be able to slip in amongst her. Yeah. So I think I'm going to climb up separate and probably a little before.
Okay.
Because I don't have shit to pack and unpack, right? I just like head out with nothing. I think I pilfered some more. I don't know if I need to roll like sleight of hand checks to be pilfering food, but
no, there's no need for that.
And I will, climb up the mountain before them. When I saw her putting on gear, does that include crampons and ice picks and shit, or is that
No.
Okay. So onward and upward. Is it cooler as we're climbing higher?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
So you're up. You're the first one up the mountain today. You must have woken up at dawn to get this head start.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
And the trail up here is pretty rocky and barren. There's no like flattened out areas. There's just like a vague path that winds around the mountain in a way that might be stable, but at the same time, like there's rocks underfoot. Sometimes there's really not much of a path, and you have to like use handholds to keep going. It's a little bit treacherous going here. Why don't you give me a climbing check to see how adept you are at climbing up this thing?
Sure. So climbing, Grimes is a natural climber. It is based off of a third of strength and dex. Dex is 16. Strength is not fully 16 yet. So let's see. Let's say if it's 14, that brings us to 30. Divided by 3 is 10.
Perfect.
Plus 6 points of I'm a fucking chimney sweep.
Yeah.
That's all I do. So 16. You want me to roll that?
I do.
Oh,
So Grimes
we fall right off the bat. I have some trouble.
Yeah. The trouble isn't so much like falling down the mountainside as it is like slipping and sliding and causing other like rocks to begin to tumble down the mountainside, to the point that the head start you wanted to have is quickly lost in all the struggles of this mountainside.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as luck would have it, Janet's group is the first one coming up behind you.
Yeah, I think maybe I'm like struggling up this. I don't know what this like. I don't know if I've got like up a gorge that I'm trying to get out of, or there's some like, I don't know, boulder or rock face struggling to get up, and then I hear them maybe coming up the path behind me.
Yes,
and
the first thing you hear is actually laughter, and you look back and you see a woman, probably one of Janet's people, wards, stopped and kind of just like chuckling to herself at you as you're like struggling to get around this thing and like slipping rocks below your feet.
Yeah, maybe I fall or something and like look up. I think I was hoping to hide and like go casual and be like, yeah. But nope.
No, not with this climbing check.
Not with this climbing check. Then I think I just ashamedly step aside. Are they like queuing up to climb the same thing I'm struggling with, or did I like take the wrong route and they're like...
No, you're taking the right route. This person is ahead of her group and has stopped to let them catch up and let you go forward across this particularly narrow and treacherous path. But she lets you finish getting across.
Unfortunately, I've been spotted, but I'll pick myself up and scamper off, hoping to regain my lead.
Okay. It doesn't go so well for you, and very quickly this other group begins to butt up next to you.
Maybe I will slow down and let them pass and
Sure.
try not to engage. Try to like keep my head down and my face unrecollectable.
Sure. As you stop and wait, the group begins to pass you, and
I give a...
Janet herself stops and looks at you dead on and goes, excuse me, sir. You really should be having a guide.
Heads down. Morning, ma'am. Hot day we're having. I'm from around here. It's okay. And I avoid eye contact.
You know, locals are the most frequent people to die on this mountainside because they have that exact same mindset that since they're from around here, they know what they're doing. Look, I know you haven't paid for it, but why don't you come along with us, and I'll be your guide on this trip, and you can just make it up to me later. Since you live around here, maybe you can take me out for a drink sometime. How about that?
I look up perplexedly.
She gives you a broad smile. Her long, well-manicured or well-maintained brown hair kind of sits at her shoulders as she cocks her head to the side at you.
I like look around now, probably realizing there are other people around overhearing this, or is this?
Yeah, I mean, they're walking past. No one's stopping to listen, but there are other people overhearing the conversation.
I couldn't impose, miss.
Well, I don't want to have to stop our hike just because you fall and die, and then we have to turn around and bring your body back.
Hey,
it's
now.
more of an imposition if you get yourself into trouble. So come along. What's your name? I'm Janet. Nice to meet you.
I extend a hand out. Mari.
Nice to meet you, Mari.
Where I'm probably not gloved, or am I? Is it?
I don't think so.
Okay. I shake her hand. Whoops. So much for going unnoticed. And I guess I will climb with them up the mountain.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Does she go on to hang with her clientele, or does she actually take that? I'm gonna be your guide seriously.
She takes it seriously. She keeps the whole group together. She'll stop the group at a certain point, wait for everyone to catch up, including herself. And as at the first point of stop, she says, "Hello, everyone. Just a quick announcement. Mari here is going to be joining our group. He's a little bit lost on his own. Don't worry, it's not going to get in the way of your things. But Mari, this is our climbing group for the day. We will
head down progress. In shame. I nod. Yeah.
Right.
How does the rest of the group react? There's obviously the one woman who saw me fall on my ass, but
that one woman is kind of smiling at you. You recognize a couple of people are like rolling their eyes and groaning, like, "We had to pay for this guy. Why the hell is it?" But
how do they know I didn't pay? Where'd it get?
I mean, you were just picked up on the road. She just said, "This guy who's failing, so we're taking him with us." I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah. All right. Well.
So yeah. On you go.
On I go.
So what are you looking for here? Because we can just hike you forever, but I feel like we shouldn't just babble about hiking. What's your plan?
I think I'm waiting for a moment where I can shove Janet off a cliff without anyone else seeing. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Without
Maybe
anyone else
one.
seeing? Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So I think I'm just sort of going with the flow until the opportunity presents itself.
Okay. So what would be a good check to see if such a thing occurs and when it occurs? Mm-hmm. Is this like you're just hoping for a chance, or you're going to try and like create an opportunity?
I think both. Yeah.
All right.
How many more days? I don't want to take any more. Well, I think tomorrow needs. God. Pot is going to be worried sick.
Here you are getting ready to murder someone. You're like, oh man, my dad must be worried about me.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like a typical 15-year-old.
Yeah, how
are you going to create how are you going to have an opportunity to push her unnoticed?
Like during that day, how did the climb go? Like, was she like moving, like herding this party, basically going forward and backward, keeping everyone together?
At dangerous points, she'll be the first one and kind of help people across, and at more gentle points, she'll like go back and check in with everyone, making sure they're all okay. Have you had enough water? Good. And she's really friendly and personable. She's got probably like a 14 or 15 in charisma. She seems like a nice lady.
I've got a new plan. Yeah. Is there any role play you need to do with Janet before we
can do it right now.
Get her gone. We can do it right now. Okay, so I think my new plan is going to be so I'm inspired by my failed climb check. My new plan will be to set up an avalanche and just smash her with rocks. I would hope to not have there be any casualties, but I don't know. I mean, given the recklessness of this harebrained scheme, I don't know that that's priority numero uno.
All right. So how are you doing it?
So where are we camped? We're probably not camped in like a canyon, are we?
I mean, you're not camped yet. You're. Are you waiting until that night, or what's?
I don't know when I'm going to get. I don't think I would do. I don't. I can't spot an avalanche. I assume setting an avalanche probably is.
Yeah,
gonna take some
I don't know
time,
if
right?
you were
It's not
going
like
to
I
try
can-
and like climb up the mountain and push rocks down on them, or wait for everyone like get to a rest point and do
So
something.
what would be ideal is if. So maybe this is that. Are we camping at some point? Maybe. I guess maybe I'm hatching this walking up the trail. Is that where we are still?
Yeah, you're still hiking up the mountainside.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as
Maybe
you're walking, you do overhear people talking about plans for today at the end of the day, and it sounds like the plan is to get to a particular overlook that looks over the north side of the mountain, have lunch there, and then head back down to the camp midway down the mountain. That's the plan.
Okay, so they'll be camping the same spot again tonight.
Right.
And they're okay. So another option will be during that lunch. See if she like takes a break.
So
Then
it takes the rest of the day. With Janet's help, no one needs to make any climb checks. She holds your hand across the areas that you have to skedaddle or jump from one spot to another even. And as noon rolls around, you guys come to this wonderful overlook. There's a very large kind of flat rock up at a bit of an angle that sticks out way over the mountain, and or mountain's edge, and you can walk out onto this edge and just like look out over the north side of the mountain. You can see pretty far from it.
and
gotta
I am
be
not. I'm
5,000 feet up, so I don't know how far you can see it from 5,000 feet of elevation, but you can see pretty far.
if
You
it's a
can
clear
easily
day.
see the ocean. You can see the what's this shit over here? The shallow sea. You can see Coxport and Kirschwick. You can definitely see Crawlog Peak and Near Deer Lake, all the way down to the southern ocean and out towards the Great Horn.
Oh. I wish I had known this was here to begin with. I could have set up this as the trap or something. But well, so I assume everyone's taking turns or whatever, climbing out onto the thing,
Right.
out onto the ledge, taking selfies or whatever off the edge.
Yeah, they've got like a painter that they brought with them. Everyone stand still for 2 hours. Hold on. Hold on.
So we stopped for lunch at the spot, I assume. And I do not have lunch, so I'm gonna chill. Maybe if Janet like takes a break, she like goes and pees and doesn't come back, and they find her off the edge of a cliff.
Well,
Do I ever see her? Do I ever see her slip off alone?
No, she's an expert, a professional climbing guide. She would be irresponsible to leave the party. But during lunch, everyone will take bathroom breaks. That is a very valid point. She will have to slip away, at least for that.
Yeah, I know this is super odd, but I will try and wait till she goes to relieve herself and
Yeah, after
find myself
everyone's-
relieved as well.
After everyone has like taken a look over the edge and gotten their kind of base fill of that and is sitting down, she passes out the food for lunch because she's carrying most of everyone's food. She quietly, discreetly, without saying anything to anyone, slips away to go probably relieve herself after everyone else has.
Yeah, and I think the challenge here is to me casually slip away and have no one notice that I was just there when I left. I don't know what sort of way to resolve that is, but that's the goal here. But who knows? Maybe I just
You know what? Why don't you give me a
is there a
I was gonna
low
say, like,
key skill?
I was gonna say just like a straight charisma check to like to take off in a way that wouldn't be, you know, odd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because this is like a lie of body language at the least. So
Sure, I think
do
my
a charisma check.
Yeah, where are we? Oops. Character sheet went to sleep. Charisma 12. That's passed, so I think I casually slip off. I mean, I'm just this local yokel that's been following him around. No one's paying attention to me. No one's talking to me. I think I just
You
like
haven't
slip
made any
off. I think the
friends
other
yet.
direction, and then I try to run around.
All right.
Is there like I don't know what the topography of this peak is, but is it like downhill where one would go for some privacy, or
No, she actually goes up the path even farther.
okay.
And then like, curves off to the side.
Okay, well, I'll go jogging silently around the group, and yeah. So I'm wondering what the grade is like here. Is it like you give someone a good shove and they'll just go rolling?
If you get him in the right spot, yeah. At the edge of it, it is deadly steep.
Yeah, so let's go running up there. I don't know if there's a way to circumvent her or bump into her as if I was going to do the same thing that she was doing. And I didn't realize she was also
having to figure it out as you go,
Yeah.
since you haven't been here before.
Exactly. So I go jogging up the path, and then try to like pace it down so I'm not huffing and puffing if I bump into her. And I guess I'm looking to try and spot her, right? Because I think I took a slightly circumvent route to avoid detection by the group. Perception is 15, or sorry, 14.
Ooh,
That is
very
rolled
nice.
properly, but nice.
So as you're hiking up to kind of catch up to where she is, you do catch sight of the sound of water running onto rock from a short distance. Yeah.
Say again.
You can hear her peeing.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks for
Trying
spelling
to be
that out.
discreet, yeah.
Yeah. Immature Grimes made you say it.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't bump into her as she's peeing. So I think I'm gonna like hang back. Good thing I caught that, and maybe like bump into her as she's finishing and like walking back up.
Yeah.
How far are we from the main camp?
From where everyone's resting?
Yeah.
Not super far, like 40 feet, 50 feet. You just went far enough that she has privacy. So from where you are, you can hear people talking, like when the wind blows in your direction a little bit. But, you can't see them. They're around a corner from you. Anyway,
Okay.
Janet finishes up and starts to walk back and kind of pauses for a moment, a little surprised to see, oh, Marion.
I didn't say my name was my name was Mari, by the way.
Mari,
Actually, I never said Marion.
Oh, Mari.
But I didn't even notice. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were back here. And is there a ledge near? Like, what's the grade where I bumped into her?
So I want to say on your left side, you have you're on a flat area that's maybe 6 feet wide. At the left edge of it, there's a couple of rocks that someone has put here to kind of like mark the edge, and then it's more just it's just like a death drop. And on the right side is hilly, rocky terrain that goes for 15, 20 feet before you have like another steep cliff, and there are some brushes and shrubs and trees around here, which is what she was behind.
And then I think it will be awkward as I am like standing in the 6 foot path, bumping into her. I don't know. So I guess I'm sort of letting her. Yeah.
So she comes over away around from behind the bushes and stops and gives you like her head cocked to the side ever so slightly and gives you that big beaming smile and says, "Are you coming out here for yourself, or are you trying to? You want to say something?"
Some privacy. I didn't.
Yes.
I didn't. I didn't.
Well,
Well,
I'll leave you to it then. She says as she steps kind of close to you and
Yeah,
be like, I'm
and
trying to
I'm
get
trying
past
to-
you, but
racking my brain for what to say, but I need to.
I think there's a couple of awkward moments where
yeah,
she
yeah,
like
yeah.
looks like she's trying to get past you, but you're not moving.
Can I tell anything by looking at her, like from observing her closely? Does she look familiar? Does she look like
Give me a charisma
a
check.
relative, perhaps, of like is she? I don't know.
Give me a charisma check.
And I'm thinking of what was the name? Esmeralda. My aunt, my new
see.
auntie.
We'll see.
Charisma check, you say?
Yeah.
Nope, I can't. Can't place her. Can I at least get a physical description? What was her hair?
Her hair
Her build-
is brown. It comes down to about her shoulders. Hold on. Let's see. She's kind of got like a little bit of a longer face with a rounded jaw. Kind of not, I wouldn't say a bulbous nose, but like, you know, it's a little bit more pronounced at the end. But she's got like just a wonderful smile and bright, cheery eyes. You can see that she's got small pearl earrings in even while she's climbing. Her gear is worn, but like still in fairly good condition. She's got good posture and just like a really positive, chipper attitude. Mary, you sure you didn't come out here to say something to me?
I step aside. I'm racking my brains for a way to get her, like a thieves' canty way to like ask if she's part of the family without
She chuckles for a little bit and says, "You're
that
cute.
is-
Your embarrassment and shyness is really adorable."
Yeah, and I think I'm playing it off like I was trying to go to the bathroom and whoops, I bumped into a girl. Oh no! And so I think I'm slowly getting out of
She
her
moves
way.
past you.
Yeah. Is there like a way to ask if you are part of the? Is there like a slang term that I could?
I'm sure there is. If you can make one up.
Or even like I say something like. Beg pardon. Would I say cuz? Probably cuz seems like a thing, right? If I say like beg pardon cuz, which is probably makes it awkward considering the perhaps undertones of the moment we were having.
Right.
But yeah, so I think I dropped that, and if maybe just wait and see if like she like perks up at being called.
No, she
right, like
cocks her
yeah.
head to the side
Yeah.
and gives you the look like, is that a slang from his part of the world that I don't
And
understand?
I think okay. So I let the moment of confusion go by as she like doesn't like. So I think like if someone had been.
Well, the moment passes and she makes her
Yeah.
way back to the rest of the group, and you find yourself standing awkwardly. And then you can you
Yeah, I
can
wait
do
a few
your
minutes.
business.
I probably don't even need to pee, and
Too
so I just
nervous
like
to
hang
pee
back
right
for
now.
30 seconds and maybe head back to the group.
All right, you get back to the group, and she is wrapping it all up. All right, everybody, we want to make it. If we want to make it back down before it gets too dark and the winds begin to blow, we should head down now. Get your last look. And she takes a step out onto the ledge herself, standing in kind of that superhero pose with her hands on her hips, surveying the world as if it's all her own. And then turns around and heads back down.
So is this like some? It's not like a noble house that runs these expeditions, but it is like somewhat sanctioned by the king.
It's like the Parks and Recreation Department of the kingdom.
Yeah.
know?
So these are like
Government employees.
civil servants or whatever. But not like nobility that like owns this mountain or something.
You can
They're just,
definitely
like,
tell from her accent she is not noble born. You can detect like undercurrents of like fairly common origins, but her speech has been practiced and her vocabulary has been expanded since she's in this like public facing job. So she might even have similar roots to you. You definitely don't hear the same landslide accent, but she's a commoner who's done well for herself and is now taking people on tours of this majestic and holy mountain. All right. The group begins to head back down the mountainside.
Back to the camp, right, for the night?
Yeah, right.
Thinking back to the camp's layout, first off, did Janet have a tent by herself? Or did she share it?
There is a wooden structure, a wooden mud structure that it looks like the staff all share together.
And where is this camp? Is it at the top of a hill? Is it, like I said, is it in a canyon? Is it?
It's kind of in a canyon that looks like it has been somewhat filled in, not by people, but like there's probably a landslide once a long time ago, and then dirt has kind of settled on top of it. So it's relatively flat, steep walls on either side, and then like the trail that would lead out of it has like a little bit of a creek next to it, and that's where you exit, and then you head up the direction that you came to get to you head up one of the canyons. How do I say? It's a confluence of canyons where the camp is. So one path down, two paths up.
Yeah, so I think as we're climbing down, I'm using my best to recollect the layout of the canyon and try and think if there's a way I could set up a rock slide onto the camp. Maybe onto that. Is that a thing? Like, is there a cliff or a hillside above the tent?
Yeah.
And a boulder could maybe be made to roll down it?
Maybe. So the issues are the rock slide might, if you shove a boulder, it might not cause a full rock slide, or it might. And then depending on that, how big of a slide it causes, it may or may not hit her. And then if it does, you're probably also killing like 30 other people in the process.
That many, huh?
You can't assassinate her with a rock slide. You could kill everybody in camp and destroy all the structures on this holy mountain in this campsite. So we'd be talking like TPK, or yeah.
Back to camp we go.
Right.
Let's see. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I feel like murdering her with, even though I've got this nice shiny dagger, that is not the weapon of choice for this situation.
Well, you guys are heading down, and Grimes is frantically trying to find a way to get this done. And you find yourself halfway back down to camp, still scrambling.
And she's probably in the company of newbie climbers throughout the entire rest of the day.
Totally. You head down.
Yeah, I keep thinking now I should have done it. Why'd I choke? Why'd I hesitate? I feel like I want to give her a chance to explain, or to. Like, I don't get it. Like, why is the family why her?
Is this more of a test for you than anything else? Maybe she's just an innocent person and they just want to see if you'll follow orders. Maybe she didn't do anything and this is like to send a message to someone else. Maybe she's involved in something that you're unaware of. Maybe she's like smuggling for them. I'm sure there are dozens of ideas running through your head. I'm just trying to plant seeds of confusion and doubt.
Much appreciated.
Welcome. It could be anything. God, there's so many reasons to kill. Maybe she's dating someone inside of the organization and betrayed them, or cheated on them or something. Maybe she spoke up. Maybe she tried to leave.
Yeah. Do I get a brief moment alone walking down the mountain? Even just like as she's walking past me at some point, you exchange pleasantries for 30 seconds. Is that a situation that arises?
Yeah, quite possibly.
Can I make small talk? Could I ask her about her family?
Definitely. You'll still be like in line of sight from other people, but you could have like a quiet conversation with her while other people are doing other things. You couldn't murder her without other people noticing.
No. But get more of a feel for
sure. What would you like to say?
Janet person is. I think I will casually ask like where she's from. So you from around these parts? You climb like a local.
My family is I grew up in a small village near Buttmeyer, the swamp on the south side of Wicklamdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family are muckers by trade, heading out into the swamp and finding all sorts of lovely, disgusting things and selling them in the city.
Muckers.
Muckers, I know. Grew up at the base of the mountain and spent the rest of my life on the mountain.
Well, I'd say ditching and sweeping ain't much above a mucking.
At least you, I guess you don't stay clean, but at least you don't have swamp water in your boots at the end of the day. But there's no scorpions and chimneys either.
I didn't say chimney. Is that a Neal mistake or a?
That might be a Neal mistake. I thought you said.
Oh, I said sweeping.
Yeah.
I guess she picked up on the slang there.
Yeah, and you're a grimy fellow. You got soot still on you. Like, when was the last time you bathed?
We were just by the river the other day. Did I really not bathe?
I don't know. You didn't say you bathed. So.
I didn't say I bathed.
And then you dirted yourself up afterwards anyway to get home undetected.
Yeah. And I think I don't know what this. I think I'll awkwardly ask if she's seeing anyone. Like if she is, and then that gives her an excuse to slip away. I don't know if she'll give a yes or a no. What's the slang for? Yeah. Like, so she was talking about where she's from. Yeah. I think I just come out and blurt it.
Well, I thought we had a date planned.
Oh, right.
Weren't you going to take me out for a drink when we get back down?
I think I blush and she blushes.
She more just kind of like, laughs at you, but laughs with you at like your uncomfortableness and awkwardness. It's kind of like, oh, he's so adorable. She is older than you. She's definitely... It's hard to place her age, and you're very tall for your age as well. You're like 6'1", right?
Ultimately, I think, and I'm probably most of the way there at 15.
Right. So she might think you're 17 or 18, perhaps. She's probably in that 18, 19, 20 range.
Does Grimes really shove his first girlfriend off a cliff? Is that where this episode is going? Hopefully not while she's peeing.
Anyway, the moment passes. She keeps the group moving down the hill. You're 3/4 of the way back to camp.
Yeah.
And I think you just find yourself at camp that evening. She congratulates the group. Good job on your hike, everyone. Glad we didn't lose anybody this time. My stats really couldn't afford to lose any more people on this mountain. Just kidding. I haven't lost a single person yet.
So
but people do die.
I think I leave before everyone does, and like let the people like thank her, do whatever, do the chumming, and have taken off, and then try and head Janet off after everyone's left.
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't know where I can.
She
so I pretend like I leave,
everyone
and then
to the
maybe
communal fire,
wait.
And then she starts heading off to the staff section of the area.
Oh wait, maybe there's still a night here.
Yeah, there's still a night here. So you can catch her as she's leaving the communal area and heading to the staff area. There's like 30 feet of no man's land. Do you catch up with her?
For some reason, I was thinking we were already down the mountain. No, I think I watch her go. We do it on time.
The night passes.
Dilly-dallying.
All right. The next day, people are waking up. Janet has dressed back in her purple dress with the light white shirt underneath with the blue splotches. And the pretty neckerchief.
I think I lose track of time, and I guess continue down the climb with them.
All right.
And I think my plan is going to be to snag Janet after the climb is done.
Sure enough, you guys spend like an hour heading down the mountain. It's real easy to get down to the next camp. Maybe a little bit more than an hour because everyone's strolling down the mountain after yesterday's fairly arduous journey. And you get down a little bit before the afternoon, down to the main camp at the base. Where Janet says, all right, well, thank you, everybody. It's been a wonderful hike. I hope you all enjoyed your visit. Do come back, and I'd like to see all of you here again sometime soon. And waves goodbye. Everyone says goodbye.
Yeah, so this is where
some extra copper.
Yeah, this is where I meant to say I slip off before everyone.
Okay.
And then catch her after.
Sure.
Right, so make it look like I leave and then hang around somewhere hopefully discreet and snag her as she's like wrapping up for the day or whatever.
Yeah, once she's done with all the people, she goes off and like does some businessy, officey thingies and that like mud brick thing that's set a little bit lower in, comes out, goes
so this is the camp at the base, or is
the
this
very base of the mountain, right?
Yeah, and I think for Grimes too, sort of lost track of the days. Right, what has this been like 3 nights away? My God, I'm gonna have to come up with I know I'm gonna have to come up with a hell of a story. I didn't tell anyone I was gone. I don't know if like there's even there friends that Pa would know of to check in with me, or is it just like Lord knows.
We'll find out when you get back. Back down here, the heat has picked up again. Still cooler than when we first started. Maybe it's just your frozen heart that's making it seem a little bit cooler. But here you are at the very base of the mountain. Janet is going about
waiting in a bush or something for.
Are you trying to catch her attention, or are you trying to stay hidden from her?
I think I want to bumble into her after the clientele have left. Like I said, I wanted to make it look like I leave and then go wait around somewhere.
Yeah. The clientele leaves and she spends about 30 minutes doing like wrap up and tear down at the end of it. And then you can
by herself, or does she have like?
She'll talk with someone and like fill out a form here or there, and then like go about her stuff. Not so much form filling as like, yep, 5 climbers up, 5 climbers down, check, everyone's alive. Tear down this tent, resupply this thing, refill all the water bottles, check her gear, stitch up the boot that's getting a little bit broken here. And at the end, she's done. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm gonna bump into her as she's headed out. It's at afternoon at this point. Yeah,
just about noon actually. After she's done with everything.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I think I bump into her as I don't know if she's heading west after this, like home. I don't know what her exit plan is, but I think like I probably don't help. Like it doesn't look like there's an obvious way for me to go. Like move. She's doing. I don't know. So I think I watch as like she fixes boots or whatever. I wait for her to finish up and then try and happen into her as she's leaving.
Yeah, she begins to head south on the road.
South. Okay, yeah, but southwest, correct?
Right, like she's headed back towards Footmire.
Yeah, and I think I bump into her some hundreds of yards away from the camp. So is she heading home or whatever, south by herself?
Alone.
Yeah. So I'm going to bump into her, and I probably even like speak out to her. Although I'm hoping that it's far enough away that like our speech will not be overheard in the camp.
Sure. Yeah. She stops and turns.
Janet, and maybe my voice cracks or whatever.
I thought you had ran away
without paying off
me. Shy. I thought that you just weren't up to it.
I wouldn't split without paying my debts. Repay. Yeah.
Well, where did you say you were from?
Capital.
Oh.
With Throne Renta.
See. Well, I am headed to my village near Footmire. Do you want to come down there? It's... She does some internal math in her head and tries to decide if you could get there and back. I bet you could make it home by nightfall if you hurried.
I start. I guess I go to like walk with her. I don't know if did I come up behind her or in front of
Behind her, yeah.
Behind
so
her.
She starts walking south.
Yeah, I think we start walking and talking, and I try to I'm not too wise to the ways of the world. Too much subtext for young Grimes.
Mm-hmm.
Is there Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just awkward, and we walk and let me think.
So, Grimes, has your whole family sweepers, as you call them?
Oh, well, like I said, ditchers and sweepers up where I'm from.
Do you have a big family? Many siblings?
I pause and I guess I make eye contact, which has been unusual for Grimes, and try and catch subtext in her.
Give me a charisma check.
In her stare. Plus 12. 32 crit. Okay, so
no,
I think
she's legitimately just asking about your family. There's no subtext.
But I think,
whatsoever.
but what I say is I lock her gaze, and she said, "So do you have? Would you say
do you have a big family?"
Big family, and I don't think they'd like you very much. And I think that's when I'm reading, to see what her reaction is, and hoping that she's catching the subject. She has no idea, though.
She has no idea. She seems actually a little offended or hurt by that, and goes, "Oh, really?"
Yeah, I didn't mean to drop it that way, but that's not what Grimes saying. That's Ryan talking right now. But I critted that charisma check in an odd way, I think. Right. Yeah.
She looks a little hurt by that. I see. Well, I guess muckers, born a mucker, die a mucker, right?
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. As we're this is all a trail through the forest, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
There's no cliffs here to slip and fall off of.
No. And actually, when you say that, she does sort of stop.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, God, it is about 10 miles to Footmire. Maybe we should grab a drink another time. Unless you don't have to be back to your family anytime soon.
Oh, I'm a... Of course, I don't need to ask my family before I continue to walk. I turn away. I had broken. Yeah, I break my natural 20 charisma gaze and keep on walking.
Okay. She seems satisfied.
Shrugging off the family. I said my family wouldn't like her, blah, blah, but I don't need to. My family,
This appeases her, and she continues to
And
walk
I think
with
there's
you.
probably some family rivalry between the ditchers and the muckers, right? On the opposite sides of the mountain. At least they got they've got opposing kick pig teams or something.
Right. There's a friendly rivalry back and forth between them. The sweepers and ditchers always kind of feel that they're better because they work in the city, and the muckers work out in the swamp. And the muckers you guys are just servants for the big people. We're real independent employees. You guys are lower. So there's a rivalry, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, I think it was certainly harsh, the words that I said, but not, but understandable, right? And maybe that's why why I was extra cutting. But I think I shrug off the burdens of family and continue this stroll through the forest.
Sure.
Just after the hour.
All right.
Maybe we should head into a break.
We'll head into a break while Ryan desperately tries to find a way to murder this woman. We'll see you guys on the other side. Bye.